Every single day, parents all over the world walk into toy stores, scroll through apps, and order flashcards online, all searching for the same thing. A way to give their child a better start. A way to do right by their kid. And honestly, that instinct is beautiful. It comes from love. But here's something that might stop you in your tracks. The single most powerful thing you can do for your baby's developing brain costs absolutely nothing. It doesn't require a subscription. You don't need to carve out a special hour in your day. It doesn't come in a box, and you can't download it. And yet researchers at Harvard have spent more than 20 years studying it and calling it one of the most important experiences in a baby's entire early life. Most parents have never heard of it. Today we're going to change that. Let's start with a picture. Your baby is lying on their play mat. You're nearby, maybe folding laundry or finishing a cup of coffee. And then, your baby makes a soft little sound. A small ooh. Maybe they lift one tiny hand toward the ceiling. Maybe their eyes drift over to the window where the curtain is moving. Most parents at that moment would smile and keep folding the laundry. And that makes complete sense. Life is busy. That little sound was quiet. It only lasted a second. Nothing about it screams, "Pay attention to me right now." But here's what researchers have discovered. In that small, quiet, easy-to-miss moment, your baby's brain was doing something extraordinary. It sent out a signal, a kind of invitation, a tiny reach in your direction. Scientists who study child development call this a serve. And what happens next, whether you answer that serve and how you answer it, turns out to matter more for your baby's brain growth than almost anything else in their environment. The science behind this is called serve and return, and it was developed and studied extensively at the Harvard Center on the Developing Child. The basic idea is simple. Your baby sends a signal, a sound, a look, a gesture, a reach. You notice it, and you respond. That back-and-forth exchange, serve, return, is the engine behind early brain development. Every time that loop completes, the brain builds connections. Neural pathways form. The architecture of your child's mind, the actual physical structure of their brain, is being shaped in real time. Now that might sound dramatic, but the research is hard to argue with. A few years ago, a team of researchers led by Dr. Rachel Romeo at MIT ran a study that really turned heads. They scanned the brains of young children. They analyzed how much language each child was exposed to at home, and they expected to find what most people assume, that the kids who heard more words had stronger brain development. But that's not what they found. What actually predicted stronger brain development, stronger language centers, better cognitive skills, wider neural connections, was not the number of words a child heard. It was the number of back-and-forth conversational exchanges between a child and a caregiver. Not words spoken near a child. Words spoken with a child. The difference is everything. A TV talking in the background? Your baby's brain largely tunes it out. An audiobook playing while they sit alone? Minimal impact. But you leaning in, responding to their little sound with your own warm voice, pausing, letting them respond. That is the real thing. That is what the brain is wired to receive. And here is the part that I want you to really hold on to. This finding held true across every income level, every family background, every type of home. Rich families, struggling families, big families, small ones. The children who had more of these back-and-forth exchanges came out ahead. Not because of money. Not because of toys or programs or the neighborhood. Because of moments like the one with the laundry and the little ooh. That means this advantage belongs to you. Right now. Today. Before we get into the 3 simple steps, I want to tell you about one of the most famous experiments in child psychology. If you haven't seen it, it will change how you see your baby forever. If you have seen it, it's worth revisiting. In the 1970s, a developmental psychologist named Dr. Edward Tronick designed what became known as the still face experiment. Here's what happened. A mother sits across from her baby. She's warm, responsive, fully present. She talks to them, mirrors their expressions, responds to every little sound and gesture. The baby is completely lit up, smiling, reaching, babbling, full of joy. This is what a connected exchange looks like when it's flowing. Then, on the researcher's signal, the mother does something hard. She lets her face go blank. Completely still. No response. She doesn't leave. She's still sitting right there. She just stops answering. And what happens next is genuinely difficult to watch. Within seconds, the baby notices. Their smile gets bigger at first, because they're trying to get the connection back. Their hands reach out. They point at things. They try everything they know. All of their little signals, every serve they can think to make, sent out one after another. And nothing comes back. The baby's energy changes. They become unsettled. Not frantic, but quietly distressed, in a way that is hard to describe but impossible to miss. They look away. They slump slightly. When the mother finally reconnects, when her face comes back to life and she responds again, the baby's whole body relaxes. Within moments, the joy returns. The world is safe again. Now here is the critical thing to understand about that experiment. The baby wasn't upset because the mother left. She never left. She was sitting right there the whole time. The baby was upset because her answers disappeared. Her warmth disappeared. The back and forth, the serve and return, went silent. What that tells us is this. Your baby is not sitting in their little world passively soaking things up. They are actively reaching for you. All day long. Through sounds and looks and gestures and expressions, they are sending out invitations, one after another, waiting to see if you'll respond. They are not doing this consciously. They don't know they're doing it. It is simply what a healthy, developing human brain does. It reaches for connection. It needs connection to grow. So let's talk about the 3 steps. Because this doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't require any preparation. You can start in the next hour. Step 1. Notice the serve. This is the part that most parents miss. Not because they're inattentive, but because these signals are so small. A glance toward the window. A soft sound. A tiny hand raised in the direction of something interesting. A sudden stillness when a new noise appears in the room. These are all serves. Your baby is sending a signal and waiting to see if you catch it. The single most important habit you can build is simply learning to slow down and look. When your baby makes a sound, before you continue whatever you're doing, take 1 second. Where are they looking? What just caught their attention? What are they trying to tell you? You don't have to catch every single one. Nobody does. But building the habit of noticing, even a few times an hour, is where everything else begins. Step 2. Return it with warmth. Once you've noticed the serve, respond. And here's the good news. There's no perfect response. The exact words you use matter far less than the fact that you're meeting them where they are. If your baby is staring at the ceiling fan, you might say, "You see that, huh? It's going around and around. That's the fan." If they're watching the dog walk by, maybe, "That's Rosie. She's coming to see what you're up to." If they just made a sound for no particular reason, just make one back. Smile. Lean in. Let your face say, "I see you. I'm here. I'm with you." That is the message their brain needs. Not vocabulary lessons. Not educational content. Just, "You are not alone and I am paying attention." Step 3. Leave space for the next serve. This is the step that most people don't know about, and it might be the most important one. After you respond, pause. Don't rush to fill the silence. Don't immediately launch into more words or more stimulation. Give your baby a moment to process what just happened, and to send their next signal. Because the brain building doesn't happen just in your response. It happens in that back and forth rhythm. The serve, the return, the pause, the next serve. That tempo, slow, unhurried back and forth, is the actual mechanism. When you pause and wait, you are trusting your baby to lead. You are telling their brain, "Your signals matter, and I will wait for them." Children whose caregivers do this, who pause, who follow the child's lead, who let the rhythm develop naturally, show measurably stronger neural development than children whose caregivers do all the talking. I want to say something directly to you because I think it matters. You cannot buy what we just described. You cannot download it. No subscription box will deliver it to your door. The most expensive educational toy in the world, from your baby's brain's perspective, is a quiet room compared to 3 minutes of genuine back and forth with a loving adult who is actually paying attention. The fancy preschool, the right music classes, the perfectly curated nursery. None of those things come close to the simple, unhurried exchange of a parent who stops, looks, and answers. The research is not ambiguous about this. And I think somewhere, most parents already sense it. That what their baby really wants isn't the spinning lights or the talking stuffed animal. What they want is you. Paying attention. Answering. The science just finally caught up to what love already knew. So here is what I hope you take away from today. Your baby is reaching for you constantly, in ways so quiet and so quick that you could easily walk past 100 of them in a single afternoon. A soft coo while you check your phone. A glance at the clouds through the window. A tiny finger lifted towards something only they noticed. Every single one of those moments is an invitation. And every time you answer, even imperfectly, even with just a smile and a single word, you are doing something that no toy, no app, no program can replicate. You are wiring your child's brain with the most powerful signal it will ever receive. You matter. I see you. You are not alone. 5 minutes a day. That's all it takes. Scattered across the ordinary moments of an ordinary day. Not a scheduled activity. Not a purchased product. Just a parent who learned what to look for. And started looking. You're already doing more than you know. The fact that you're here, learning about this, trying to understand your baby a little more deeply, that says everything about the kind of parent you are. Now go catch a serve. If this gives you something new to think about, subscribe for more science-backed videos on early childhood development. New ones every week.